Today is our test run, and we are going to be talking about homelessness. So, where have you noticed homelessness most in the Minneapolis area?
Under bridges, sometimes in the park if you're lucky enough to see that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Where have you seen them?
Uptown and downtown mostly.
I've seen them in Midtown.
Yeah, Midtown too. So mostly I'd say under bridges and in parks, because that's where they can find the most shelter.
Yeah, it's also, plus with the hot weather too, it's more cooling.
Yeah, it's a lot to be out in the hot weather for a while.
Yeah.
So something that I have noticed is that if you go on the Minneapolis public websites, there is a fine and possibly jail time if you are in a park camping out without permission.
Yeah.
Like most. Well, I don't want to say most, but some homeless people.
Yeah.
So
there's that.
Yeah, there's that. There's also what the city is and isn't doing about it. So in Minneapolis, we have the Kmart project. I'm not sure if anyone has heard about this, but it is a project where the old Kmart used to be. It burned?
That.
Possibly.
Yeah. I was told it was destroyed because of the protest. So.
No, it wasn't a protest at all, actually.
Really?
Yeah, there were a group of homeless people, and it's not their fault. They were camping out inside, and they lit a fire, and it started a fire. And after that, the city decided we are going to tear this down and reconnect our city. They're making it into a park. But like I said, parks is a no camping zone unless they have permission from the city. How do they get permission from the city if they have no way to contact the city? They don't.
They don't.
It gets them fined, and if they can't pay the fines, they go to jail. Or, right away, they could just go to jail if the police think it's that bad.
Which most of the time it isn't. It is.
Yeah,
not.
It's not their fault at all.
They're just trying to look for shelter.
Yeah, they're just trying to find a place that they can stay.
They can rest until they can keep moving.
Yeah.
They're like they look for jobs. Sometimes they don't get allowed, or they don't have the record for that.
Yeah, and what sucks is that their records won't usually allow them to have jobs because they are homeless. And for most jobs, you have to have an address that you live at. But in this case, they have no home. They have nowhere to live. And what if they stay up a little too late one night and they can't get up on time? Because they don't have an alarm clock.
They don't have phones sometimes.
Yeah, they don't have phones either. They have no way of telling time most of the time, which is no pun intended. And it just leads them further down the rabbit hole.
That is true.
So, what do you think we could do to change homelessness?
I feel like there should be a few shelters that are able to be open and to have a way to communicate with the city, even though most people are not able to. But people who are able to should try to communicate with the city. Most of the time, the city doesn't even communicate with.
Yeah.
Back.
So, we could communicate with the city, is what I'm hearing you say. So we could talk to the ward members, the council members, and we could get a shelter open and running 24/7.
Yeah.
Because then they can stay there day and night.
Maybe basically they could work there too to earn something as well while they have somewhere.
Yeah, so they can start to get themselves out of poverty with a little help, of course.
Yeah.
So there is one thing that I would like to point out. I have tried talking to Ward 8 and Ward 7. I have got automated responses saying we are out of office. I have checked their schedules. It clearly says that they're in office. But as long as they do not have to talk to you and they do not have to acknowledge what you are saying, they will not.
They will avoid it.
They will avoid it, they will ignore you, they will downplay it and say, oh, it's just a spam email. How can you say it's a spam email? If 12% of Minneapolis's population is homeless people. I've been there, I've been in poverty. The first 4 years of my life, I didn't have a home. I understand. So, shelters, 1, talking to the wards, and the council.
Yes.
Okay. Is there anything else we could do to get the word out more like we are now with this Facebook live stream?
Well, this is a start as well.
Mm-hmm.
Try to communicate with like bigger companies
Yes.
if they are willing to listen.
Mm-hmm.
Try to get more people to understand what is happening. Try to get more words spoken to
Yeah.
like the community who should listen, who should understand that this is a problem. It's not a joke. It's not something that is to be put aside. This is real. This has happened to many people, and it's not the best thing to go through.
Yes, so we could, this is what I'm thinking, we could put up posters.
Oh, probably try to put up a website of some sort.
A website of some sort. We could send out more emails.
Cards.
Yeah, we could send out cards, like business cards.
Yeah.
And then we could do word of mouth too.
Yeah.
And for anyone listening, we have a news website for my former school, ellabakernews.com. And on there are 3 articles, 2 about homelessness and 1 about police brutality against the homeless. If you would like to learn more, please check those out. So, back to you. Is there anything else we could do to get this more widespread out of just Minneapolis?
Get more people to go out, families who are from different places.
So, is that families from different places or somewhat immigrants too?
Somewhat immigrants do.
Okay.
So
another
a friend or a buddy.
Yeah, friend or buddy. Okay.
Or family. Or maybe the workplace you work at. You can say this to them. They can keep spreading it.
And I think this would be a good thing to start in our community. Like, you see someone, you try to help them, you help how you can. Or, for instance, what you could do is spread it in your friend group. Friend groups are tight circles. And then your friends have other friends. Keep spreading word of mouth. And then you could call the wards, if you want, Ward 7 and Ward 8, to talk to them about it, try to schedule a meeting. Or you could go to one of the community hearings that the city holds. You will get a 2-minute window to talk, if you are open to that. Anything else you want to say?
No. Rock, paper, scissors?
And not yet. One last thing. Okay, so if you see anyone, I would suggest that you try to help them however you can, whenever you can.
If you have extra food in the car.
If you have like food in your car, maybe
Shirts.
check your wallet. You maybe have a $10 bill. If you have some old clothes.
Or $1. Most people can't.
Anything that could possibly help these people will help them. Most of the time, it will go to good use. They will help themselves with what you give them.
Other times it won't, but most of the time it is.
Most of the time they will. So, rock, paper, scissors?
Sure. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot.
Rock, paper, scissors, shoot.
Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. One more. One more.
Okay.
Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. All right. It's a tie.
Well, thank you for listening.
Adios.